If we understand that eventually we're going to get a locking up of the system where the entire credit markets are going to implode on themselves, cash is just going to move from one set of assets into another. Everything will drop at first. Everything, including commodity prices. The baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. And then we will see this, again, cash move from one reality into another reality, and it's going to go into commodities, the most suppressed assets in the world. My favorite is still remains silver. You know that probably. Then my second favorite is going to be gold, and platinum, palladium would rank, like I'd say, a 3. But commodities across the board are going to skyrocket because, again, these are real things.
Gold is breaking out against various indices, including the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, indicating a potential bull market for gold. Late last week, U.S. corporate bond spreads tightened to a 4-week low as concerns surrounding a near month-long global trade war appeared to calm. Gregory Mannarino, a former insider of Wall Street's inner workings, has become one of its most outspoken and relentless critics. In this video, Mannarino warns that a massive credit market implosion is coming, triggering spiking bond yields. While all assets may initially sell off, he expects cash to flood into real assets later, driving higher silver, gold, and commodities. Gold has started the new week down about 1.2% at the time of writing by mid-morning London trade. The precious metal took a breather last week after repeatedly hitting record highs, as stock markets found their footing with the S&P 500 and other global indices all marching higher. Despite the recent powerful surge in gold prices, Mannarino expects a short-term pullback, viewing it as a setup for an even stronger move higher. He stresses that gold and silver should be seen as investments and true money. Historically, gold has performed well during periods of elevated geopolitical risk, and the current environment is proving no exception. The metal's lack of correlation with traditional financial assets makes it particularly valuable when political developments threaten market stability. From a technical perspective, Mannarino warns the crisis is being deliberately created to usher in a system of maximum control featuring CBDCs, programmable money, digital IDs, and AI surveillance. In the future, basic rights like food, healthcare, and travel could be restricted based on compliance. Concurrently, he believes the aware and independent will ultimately inherit the earth by seeing through the system's illusions. Before diving into Gregory Mannarino's sharp insights from his latest interview, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment when truth meets the market. Let's get into it.
You know, I mean, what a run we've had here with gold. It's been epic. It's out of control or in control, however you want to look at it. But people realize what's going on. They're not that stupid. Personally, I think we need to see a little pullback here. Maybe we're going to get one, and then we're going to see a much bigger leg high. But look, I don't even think about this stuff for the most part. You know my take on this. You know, we're holding these things, gold and silver. These are real money. They're insurance policies against the system. It's how we bet against it. What I've been saying to people for 1,000 years, it seems like to me, realizing how, you see, look, cash moves through these markets in relatively predictive patterns. It really, really does. And if we understand that eventually we're going to get a locking up of the system where the entire credit markets are going to implode on themselves, cash is just going to move from one set of assets into another. It's very, very simple. Once this happens here, what we're going to initially see is a spiking in the bond yields. People aren't going to believe. Then it's going to go no bid. It's going to go no bid. We're going to see a collapse of the world stock markets so rapidly that people's heads are going to spin around. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. And then we're going to see, first of all, everything will be selling off at the same time. Initially, when you get a meltdown like this, and this is going to be the meltdown of all time, everything will drop at first. Everything, including commodity prices. The baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. And then we will see this, again, cash move from one reality into another reality, and it's going to go into commodities, the most suppressed assets in the world. My favorite is still remains silver. You know that probably. Then my second favorite is going to be gold, and platinum, palladium would rank, like I'd say, a 3. But commodities across the board are going to skyrocket because, again, these are real things. And as the currency, the debt dissolves, there's going to be a few weeks here when the system, because the lockup is deliberate, and they're going to push us into this because they want, and they're going to do it at a time of maximum effect when people are there at their most vulnerable to get the greatest outcry, to get people to accept anything that they can throw at them, and it's going to be a system, obviously, of maximum control. I mean, I outlined it whole. I mean, I could just read to you what I just put out today. I mean, basically, what this is going to come down to, it's really not hard to understand here. Let's talk about this here. Let me see where I put this. So there's so much to this, man. But obviously, the end game here is a central bank digital currency with programmable money. We'll track and trace every transaction, and we'll not even own our money. We're going to license it from the system. Social credit scores, of course, tied to behavior, all vaccination status, political allegiance, digital IDs, and if you don't comply, no access to food, travel, healthcare, whatever it might be here. AI policing, cameras with facial recognition, predictive behavior monitoring. You can imagine a global emergency justification for whatever they got. But again, we are not powerless. In fact, that's how I end this off. I wrote to my pride. I call my followers lions here. I said, together we can pull out of the system, own assets like gold and silver outside their control, land, gold, silver, crypto, which I believe is outside their system to a certain degree, but not completely. Okay. But I just put it in here. Refuse these digital IDs. Fight it at the local level before it gets rolled out. Speak truth because silence is compliance. We all know that. Return to the source, the Most High. I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's our refuge, our clarity. People need to be prepared to lead. People will follow our work here. The confused out there is going to need voices going to help them get through this here. We all have heard this one. The meek shall inherit the earth because they see through the illusion. And that's us, man. I think it's you and me. It's the people that are able to see through all this. It's too obvious. But I think people are turning around. I really do. I have a lot of people writing to me, especially as of late. I'd say, I unsubscribed to you. Now I'm back because I see what you're saying. It's all unfolding and it's real. I don't want to change anyone's mind. I don't. I want people to think for themselves just like you do. It's not too much to ask people to do. It seems like a lot because they've been so indoctrinated, so programmed, they can't do it. But again, I think that their biggest thing that they're missing here is reconnect with the source. I've been telling this to people every day, and a whole new world will open up for you.
Following a world unraveling, Gregory Mannarino sounds the alarm that the middle class is being systematically crushed as the global economy is torn apart piece by piece. He condemns blind political loyalty, especially to Trump, and highlights how true solutions like reviving the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 to dismantle the Fed are being willfully overlooked. Following a 25% surge in international gold prices in 2025, the rally has gained fresh momentum. U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has sparked concerns over financial stability, while Trump openly endorsed holding gold, stating, "He who has the gold makes the rules." President Donald Trump appears to be rethinking some of his more extreme economic positions. He is pivoting yet again on his signature tariff agenda and renewing concerns that his haphazard approach has already caused serious economic damage. Moreover, Mannarino stresses that without major change, exploding deficits and systemic collapse are inevitable while most people remain trapped in delusion and self-created misery. Let's get back to the interview.
Oh, look, the pressure's they're going to keep getting squeezed harder and harder just to make ends meet. People don't understand what's happening to them or why. They were looking for some kind of a savior deity in Donald Trump, a guy here who has an alignment not with we the people. It talks a really good game, but look at the people he surrounded himself with. All these people have their own best interest in mind. It's an incredible thing to see how people very rarely act in their own best interest here. Again, it's all a psyop. People were told one thing, they get something else, and they still support it until the very, very end, until they themselves lose it all. And even then, they don't understand what's going on, and it's part of the game that it's ancient that's being played on people right now. It's a brainwashing. It's worse than that. It's a spiritual dispossession or a possession. I don't know what it is. Who they are has been replaced with some other type of entity, and they just go along with it. And there were people like you and me and the people that follow our work, for the most part, who can see straight through it. It's too easy. But we're not going to see this change. We're going to see, if things remain the way they are, and I can't imagine there's anything getting in the way of this right now, the people of the middle class are going to be squeezed harder and harder and harder as the world economy is taken apart piece by piece. And then when it really hits a fever pitch here, again, what this really comes down to is what the IMF warned about just yesterday. The financial system is breaking down. And you see, these entities, like the IMF and like the president, they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. It's their playbook. It goes back thousands and thousands of years, but people don't hear it. They hear something else. It's kind of interesting. So what we're eventually walking right into, obviously, is a locking up of the system, which I've spoken about forever here. The liquidity, we are in a full-blown liquidity crisis on an epic scale, and every manner of everything is being utilized to keep the system fueled with more liquidity in the form of debt being currency as well, and the central banks and the Fed's buying it all. The central banks, that's their goal, to own it all, buy it all, of course. So that's why we're in this new war in Yemen, which gets no coverage whatsoever on the mainstream media. You're not allowed to know that. People are not allowed to know that right now we're going on, 6 weeks, 24/7 of a new war in Yemen, how it was sold to us in this initially. Oh, is it about terrorism? It's about shipping lanes? It has nothing to do with it. It's all about pulling cash into the now. It's allowing the Fed to inflate, because war, the propagation of war, the buildup to war, generates a greater need for more borrowed dollars than any other human endeavor on this earth, or unhuman endeavor on this earth as well. And they're going to keep doing this. And the reason why President Trump is screaming from rooftops why we need low rates, low rates, is because, again, it allows the Fed to inflate. The Fed can't just they have to get into the markets. They create currency out of nothing. They get into the debt market. They buy it all with the units of debt they're issuing to everyone, and they get stronger. Again, it's an incredible thing to see here. There are still people locked in the delusion that President Trump is going to end the Fed. President Trump could end the Fed right now today. All he needs to do is enforce the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which is put there in place so a president can monetize gold, revalue it at whatever he sees fit, back the dollar with it, and then we win. President Trump would give the biggest gift to the world by doing this, because we could take down the Federal Reserve, and we need someone like this to do it, someone empowered to do it. We'll take down the entire system, but that's not what he's looking to do. He's empowering the Fed with more war, more reasons to borrow cash, and now screaming from rooftops to cut rates, which means currency purchasing power destruction. It's amazing, really is. And going back to it, it's devilism. That's all I have to say on the massive scale. And people are living their own hell. We're supposed to live in heaven. Well, we're not. I am, and I think you probably are too. But most people are living in their own self-induced hell, and they can't see a way out of it. But the truth is, there's so many solutions to this. Not only the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, but we could turn this all around many other ways. I mean, that would do it immediately, and we could end the Fed today via executive order reinstituting the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. But that's not going to happen. So what we can count on happen is exploding debts and deficits on a scale that we're not going to believe. Really, people, their heads are going to spin around like The Exorcist or something along those lines. They have no idea what's coming. People thought this was going to shrink. Doge was going to change everything. Oh, by the way, as you probably heard, Elon Musk is now stepping down from Doge. I think it comes into effect, I think, a month from today. How'd you like all those arrests? How did you like all those clawbacks of funds that we got? How did you like all those people that were held to account? Zero. Just like, I don't know if you said it specifically, but I told people that we would not see a single anything. Oh, but Greg, you have to wait. Wait for what? It's not going to happen. They can wait from here till kingdom come. It ain't happening.
Many analysts believe that gold has risen significantly and that there may be periodic bouts of profit-taking, but the long-term view for the yellow metal is still positive. Do you believe the surge in gold signals the beginning of a lasting shift away from traditional financial systems? Or is it just a temporary reaction to rising instability? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to support our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the following video.